Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this briefing. As you know, the General Assembly, through its resolutions 78-261 and 78-318, decided to convene the World Social Summit in 2025 under the title Second World Summit for Social Development. And the summit will be held in Doha, Qatar from 4 to 6 November 2025. We've organized this briefing to hear the logistical preparations for the World Social Summit, or under the title Second World Summit for Social Development. Yesterday, a briefing kit was sent out to all of you, so you should have received that. And we will hear this morning where we are with the preparations for this summit. We have with us Her Excellency Alia Ahmed Saif Al Thani, the permanent representative of the State of Qatar. And we have some of the colleagues from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Qatar, as well as colleagues from DESA at the United Nations. So I will first invite Her Excellency Alia Ahmed Saif Al Thani, the permanent representative of the State of Qatar, to make a few remarks.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ruth, and dear colleagues. We are very much honored, of course, to take part in this briefing organized by the Office of the President of the General Assembly on the logistical preparations for the World Social Summit under the title Second World Summit on Social Development, to be held, of course, in Doha, the state of Qatar, from the 4th to the 6th of November this year. We also thank the Department for General Assembly and Conference Management for their efforts in preparing this briefing. The State of Qatar is honored by the trust that member states have placed into hosting this landmark United Nations Summit, taking place for the first time in 30 years since the 1995 World Summit for Social Development that was held in Copenhagen. This is a very important moment for the United Nations to take stock of global progress on social development and to confront persistent and emerging challenges with renewed commitments and collective resolve. The State of Qatar has a long-standing tradition of supporting the United Nations social development pillar, demonstrated through hosting of major international conferences and high-level meetings. Notable examples including the 4th United Nations Alliance of Civilization, Global Forum in 2011, COP18 in 2012, and the 13th United Nations Congress on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice in 2015, and most recently, of course, LDC5 in 2023. Hosting this summit reflects Qatar's commitment to the principles of social inclusion, recommitting to the Copenhagen Declaration on Social Development and Program of Action, and our determination to help accelerate the implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. As the host country, we are working tirelessly to ensure that all logistical, substantive, and security arrangements are in place. We are committed to delivering a summit that serves as a platform for collective action, one that brings together member states, delegations from across the United Nations system, along with relevant non-governmental organizations, civil society, academic institutions, and the private sector, who may participate in the summit to advance social development and ensure that no one is left behind on our shared journey towards sustainable development and inclusive multilateralism. Dear colleagues, we look forward, of course, to welcoming you in Doha and to collaborating with all of you to ensure the success of this historic summit. I have the pleasure, of course, of introducing the delegation from the State of Qatar who are present with us today. I will, of course, present two of the key briefers in this briefing today. Of course, honored to welcome His Excellency Mr. Mubarak Al-Kuwari, Executive Director of the Permanent Committee for Organizing Conferences at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the State of Qatar, who will deliver a few introductory remarks. He will be followed by Ms. Maha Al-Kuwari, project lead with the Permanent Committee for Organizing Conferences, who will provide a detailed briefing on the logistical preparations for the Second World Summit for Social Development. With this, I pass the floor to His Excellency Mr. Mubarak. You have the floor.
Thank you, Sheikha. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to be with you to share a brief update on our preparation for the Second World Summit for Social Development, to be held in Doha, State of Qatar, from 4th to 6th of November 2025. Qatar has a strong record in hosting major international conferences, including UN-mandated events. At the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Permanent Committee for Organizing Conferences is the national body responsible for managing all logistics. We oversee more than 30 large-scale conferences every year in a close coordination with our international and local partners. The upcoming summit is expected to host around 14,000 participants at Qatar National Convention Center, a modern venue offering a top-tier infrastructure, technology, and sustainable, fully accessible environment. Earlier this year, Qatar welcomed the first UN planning mission, which helped align our preparation. A second mission is scheduled for July to finalize operational detail. Beyond logistics, Qatar looks forward to welcoming all guests with warmth and hospitality. Through close collaboration with Qatar Museums, Qatar Tourism, Visit Qatar, and Qatar Airways, participants will enjoy a rich cultural and memorable experience. Doha is well connected through Hamad International Airport, ranked among the world's best, linking us to over 170 destinations. We are fully ready to host you in Doha, and now I would like my colleague Maha Al-Kuwari to go through the detailed presentation on the logistics. So Maha, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Excellencies, distinguished colleagues, it is a pleasure to welcome you as we prepare for the Second World Summit for Social Development to be held in Doha, Qatar from the 4th to the 6th November 2025. This summit, I'm just to make sure that is the presentation up? Yes. Okay, perfect. This summit presents a significant opportunity for the high-level engagement on the future of social development. Today's briefing, we will walk you through the logistic arrangement and participation procedures that will help ensure a smooth and successful experience. Let's begin by outlining the key dates of the summit. So the official schedule is as follows. The main summit will take place from the 4th to the 6th of November. On the 2nd of November, we will hold a flag-raising ceremony. Please note that the venue will be under the UN territory, and only those with prior accreditation will be granted access. Pre-summit and parallel events are scheduled to take place starting from the 3rd to the 6th of November with broad participation from civil society and other stakeholders. Now let's turn on what you can expect upon arrival in Doha. All participants will arrive through Hamad International Airport, located 20 minutes from the summit venue. The airport will offer dedicated reception desk for the summit delegates, complimentary Wi-Fi, also VIP lounge access for the designated guests, and coordinated protocol support for both commercial and private flights. Let us now look at where the summit will take place. The venue for the summit is the Qatar National Convention Center, which we call QNCC. It's located near the Education City. It provides over 40,000 square meters of exhibition and meeting space, high-tech services, and equipped auditoriums. Additionally, we will provide a fully equipped medical clinic that will be available on-site throughout the summit to provide emergency care as needed. Next, speaking about the invitation, they were extended to all UN member states, and we are anticipating the participation of a significant number of heads of states and governments. We kindly encourage early confirmation for participation to enable us to make the necessary arrangement for protocol, security, and hospitality in a timely manner. Moving on to the summit program, the formal program will include a short reception of heads of state and government on the morning of the 4th of November, followed by an official family photo, then the opening ceremony, and immediately afterward the start of the plenary session, followed by roundtables. Parallel and special events will take place from the 3rd to the 4th of November, as we mentioned earlier. The Secretariat will advise about the side events registration dates and timeline, and a detailed program will be shared closer to the summit. Next, and most importantly, is the entry permits. Kindly note that all attendees of the summit must register with the host country and have a valid HAYA entry permit. Following registration with the UN, this entry permit is mandatory. It's not merely a visa waiver. It provides a visa-free access where applicable and will include tailored participation benefit packages, which we will announce later. Information on the host country requirements, including the entry permits, will be available on the summit website and included in the confirmation email sent to the participant after successfully registering through the United Nations. There are 3 application streams for the entry permits: a stream for official government delegation, a stream for the other delegate and participant, and a stream for media representatives. First, let us walk you through the official government delegation process. Once your delegation is registered through the UN system, kindly we ask you to designate one focal point from each member state to contact our guest management team at the email presented on the screen. This focal point will be responsible for registering all members of your delegation, and our guest management team will assist you with submitting HAYA entry permit documentation and coordinating hotel and transportation arrangement. In addition, it is important that all missions coordinate with their embassies in Qatar to ensure all colleagues are fully registered in advance. This is the only way to guarantee access to the venue. Secondly, for those who are not part of the government delegation, after they register through the United Nations, they will receive a confirmation email containing a unique registration code. This code will be required to apply for the HAYA entry permit via a designated online portal. More detailed information will be published on the official summit website. Finally, the media attending the summit after registering through the United Nations, they should then apply for a HAYA entry permit via the HAYA media portal. This will ensure them to enter Qatar and have equipment clearance and filming premises in Qatar. We strongly encourage early submissions. Moving on to the hospitality services that the host country will be providing, the state of Qatar will provide support to 44 least developed countries and 8 recently graduated LDC, which will cover the head of delegation along with 5 additional members, so in total 6 representatives of each of the LDC countries. This support will include flight tickets, hotel accommodation, and local transportation. For all other official government delegation, excluding those that we previously mentioned, the LDCs and the recently graduated LDC, the state of Qatar will provide hotel accommodation and transportation only, according to the level of head of delegation. So, for example, if the head of delegation is a head of state, we will be providing 6 rooms, 3 vehicles, and 1 liaison officer. If the head of delegation is a minister level, we will be providing 4 rooms, 2 vehicles, and 1 liaison officer. Officials that are less than ministers, we will be providing 1 room and 1 vehicle. To ensure that these hospitality services are provided, we kindly urge the focal point of each delegation to coordinate with our guest management team as soon as the head of delegation is confirmed to enable proper arrangement. Participants who are not hosted under Qatar hospitality arrangement can access special accommodation rate at the hotel listed on the screen. Each hotel will include an on-site information desk. Also, transportation will be available via metro and shuttle buses to and from the venue. Getting to and from the summit venue will be convenient and efficient. We have different routes that can be used. The first one is the Doha Metro Green Line, connects directly to Education City Station, which is near QNCC. We have also the ride-hailing apps such as Uber and Careem, which are widely available. We will also have shuttle buses which will run between the designated hotels mentioned previously and QNCC. Private vehicles may drop off passengers at Qatar Foundation tram stops with secure access to the venue. We will also have clear signage and event staff that will be available to support the movement to the venue, and also we will have the maps available on the summit website. To finalize, allow me to emphasize a couple important requirements that I have mentioned earlier. So all participants must be registered and accredited through the United Nations in order to access the summit venue. The HAYA entry permit are mandatory for all participants. Comprehensive guidance on the Haya entry permit related to the procedures will be shared in due course. Each mission should designate a focal point of its delegation who may be based in your mission or your embassies in Qatar or within the official delegation. This focal point should communicate with our guest management team. Since we already received several confirmations of heads of state and government participation, kindly note that the advanced teams of the heads of state and heads of government are expected to arrive between the 26th October and the 31st of October to support and facilitate final preparation. Please note that the travel and accommodation for advanced team will not be covered by the host country. Thank you for your kind attention and cooperation. We look forward to welcoming you and your delegation to Doha to an impactful and inclusive Second World Summit for Social Development. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank Her Excellency Alia Ahmed Saif Al Thani for her introductory remarks, as well as His Excellency Mubarak Al Kuwari, the Executive Director of the Permanent Committee for organizing Conference of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Qatar, as well as Ms. Maha Al Kuwari for her presentation. Thank you. With that, I now would like to invite Mr. Charles Katuwanga, the Director for the Division of for Inclusive Social Development of the Department of Economic and Social Affairs, to give us an update on the preparations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director De Miranda. I join you in extending our deepest appreciation to the Permanent Representative, Her Excellency Al Thani, and His Excellency Mubarak Al Kuwari for their remarks, and thank Ms. Maha Al Kuwari for the comprehensive presentation on the logistical arrangements for the summit. The Secretariat, through an interdepartmental task force, continues to work closely with the host and the Office of the President of the General Assembly to advance logistical preparations for the summit. The Secretariat has circulated a briefing kit to member states via e-delegate. The briefing kit provides preliminary logistical information to assist delegates and participants in preparing their participation at the summit, and which has been prepared based on information available as June 2025. A comprehensive information note for delegates will be issued by the Secretariat in all official languages prior to the official summit commencement. In addition to the information provided by the host, I would like to highlight the following important dates with respect to accreditation, registration, and applications for side events and exhibition booths. First, I draw your attention to the process for special accreditation of stakeholder groups not in consultative status with ECOSOC. This process is particularly important for member states who want to ensure the national level stakeholder partners can attend and engage at the summit. The modalities resolution requests the President of the General Assembly to draw up a list of representatives of other relevant non-governmental organizations, civil society organizations, academic institutions, and the private sector who may wish to participate in the summit. Once compiled, this list will be submitted to member states for consideration on a non-objection basis. The application process for special accreditation opened on the 28th of April, and the deadline has just been extended until the 20th of June, with thanks to the Office of the President of the General Assembly for facilitating. The link to apply is available on the summit website. Second, please note that the registration process for member states, members of specialized agencies, observers of the General Assembly, specialized agencies and related organizations and international financial institutions is scheduled to open on 1 September and close on 15 October 2025 through the e-registration system. Again, those details will be provided on the summit website. With regard to the accreditation of media, media representatives, including journalists, photographers, and videographers who are not part of the official delegations, must apply for accreditation through the United Nations Media Accreditation Liaison Unit, MALU, online through Indico. The call for media accreditation will be announced on the summit website and is currently scheduled to open on 1 September and close on 15 October 2025. Media representatives who are part of official delegations must be registered through their respective permanent and observer missions or liaison officers in New York through the online e-registration system, which I referenced earlier. With regard to side events and exhibition booths, for those member states and stakeholders interested in hosting side events at the summit, we are preparing guidelines and criteria for proposing side events and exhibitions that will be available on the summit website in late June. The application process for side events and exhibitions is expected to go live on 14 July and close on 8 August 2025. Organizers will be informed whether the application for a side event is successful in September 2025. Accredited entities participating in the summit will also have the opportunity to host exhibition booths on the margins of the summit. Exhibition booths will run for the full duration of the summit and will be located in the designated areas within the summit venue. Application forms will be made available on the summit website. The application period for exhibitions is tentatively scheduled to open on the 14th of July and also close on the 15th of August 2025. Organizers will be informed whether the application for a side event is successful by September 2025. Excellencies, if you'll allow me, I'm also pleased at this time to unveil the official logo of the summit, which is now included in the header of the briefing kit and is also available on our website. We extend our deepest appreciation to our colleagues from the Department of Global Communications for their assistance and guidance in preparing the logo that was done in collaboration with the hosts. The logo consists of geometric forms to portray all parts of the world converging into a life pulse that flows through the planet. It represents inclusivity and highlights our planet's strength lies in its diversity. The blue color represents the United Nations, whereas the burgundy reflects the color of the flag of the state of Qatar. The orange visually connects the current and previous World Summit for Social Development, and the yellow color brings the rest of those colors together. Colleagues, I would like to invite the delegations to visit the official website of the summit, which has been developed and launched by the Department of Economic and Social Affairs. The website serves as the main means of communication from the Secretariat to member states, and the department continues to regularly update it. The website is accessible, as you can see, at social.desa.un.org/World Summit 2025. The Secretariat stands ready to support you with any other questions that you may have. Thank you very much, Director de Miranda.
I thank Mr. Katuwanga for the update. And now I would like to open the floor for any questions that you may have. If you would like to ask a question, if you could please press the microphone button. Okay, I'll give the floor to the distinguished representative of South Africa, to be followed by St. Kitts and Nevis and Portugal. South Africa, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Your Excellencies, for the briefing. I think going through the note and hearing today, I think it's fairly comprehensive and it's a good start. I just wanted to clarify something I may have missed. I didn't see anything related to security details, etc. Is there a special accreditation process for that? I see there's two processes for media, state, and sort of independent, but I didn't see anything on security. Is there any further information on that? Thanks.
Thank you. I think we take the 4 sets of questions, and then I will ask the representatives of the state of Qatar to respond to those questions. Now I give the floor to the distinguished delegate of Cuba.
Muchas gracias, señora.
Thank you very much, Madam Director, and thank you very much to the Ambassador and her team who gave us a brief presentation. First of all, please allow me to thank you for the comprehensive information that you've provided since yesterday with the informative document that's comprehensive and the abundant information we've received. We're very grateful for all of that, especially since we've got several months to prepare for our participation. Now, my question is on the list of speakers, whether you have any idea on exactly what the procedure will be and when we can expect the list of speakers to open for the plenary and the 2 round tables, and whether it will be a similar process to the process that we usually have for the United Nations General Debates and for other high-level meetings. Thank you very much.
I thank the distinguished representative of Cuba. Now I would like to give the floor to the distinguished representative of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Chair, thank you, and I want to congratulate the Secretariat and the host country for the efforts expended thus far for the hosting of this summit. I flagged, however, that the courtesies extended to LDCs is not extended to small island developing states. Is it envisioned that throughout the planning process that this might change?
I thank the representative of St. Kitts and Nevis, and now I give the floor to the distinguished representative of Portugal.
Thank you very much for giving me the floor, and I also join Cuba and other colleagues in thanking Qatar for this very comprehensive briefing. I have only 2 questions. First, I may have not seen it, but I wanted to ask when were invitations sent and through which channels? And also, I've seen the toolkit that was shared yesterday, and there are a couple of hotels listed at the end of the document, and just wanted to ask if there are any cutoff dates for having those special rates. Thank you very much.
I thank the representative of Portugal, and now I would like to turn to the distinguished representatives of Qatar.
So I'll start with the security registration. After registering with the United Nations, if the security are within the official delegation, then the focal point are going to communicate with our guest management. They will assist him with registering the security. Also, if they have like any weapons or anything, they will also facilitate. Thank you.
So there were the list of speakers. I can answer that question. It will be the same as a usual GA meeting. You will be invited to inscribe on the list of speakers, and then we will take it on a first come, first service basis, and we will look at the level of the head of the delegation. So that will be the same. I have no dates yet on when we will open, but we do have some time for that. There was a question on security details from the distinguished representative of South Africa, and then there was a question from Portugal on when the invitations were sent, and on the hotels, the rates, till when they are valid, and then there was a question from the representative on St. Kitts and Nevis, whether the same will be extended to the small island. Yeah. So I give the floor to the ambassador.
Thank you so much. And again, we thank the delegations for their questions. I think on the registration for security personnel, Ms. Maha answered it, but she can clarify if there is further clarification needed. In relation to the participation of SIDS, the small development countries, of course, are very important in terms of participation and making sure you participate at the highest level possible. So we will definitely take back this question and come back on it immediately. And of course, we will definitely take positive consideration and making sure all member states have the ability to participate at the highest level. In relation to the invitations were sent. So the first set of invitations were signed off by the UN Secretary General, were sent some time ago, earlier this year. And the invitations from His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the Emir of the State of Qatar, as well, were sent actually last month. So they should have reached your capitals, but we will do the necessary actually as well here in the mission to send similar copies of the invitations through the missions in New York to make sure everyone has received it. But they were sent. Both sets of invitations to the summit were sent. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador. And then on the invitation from the Secretary General was sent on the 17th of March, 2025. So that was sent some 3 months ago. And then I think there was the only question which was still pending is the one on the hotels.
Okay, so the question about the hotel rates and the logistic brief that was sent yesterday, you will find focal points, and you will also find a couple of rates for the hotels. So as if you basically connect to the hotel, the focal point registered in the note, they will give you the discounted rate. We are also trying to facilitate to have better discounted rate on these hotels. Thank you. And then it's so the last time for if you're okay, so if the hotels, if you're going to if the people are coming and they are going to pay for themselves, the hotel is until the last minute. If there is any room available, you should also consider that it's we will be receiving very high attendees for this summit. So please make sure that you book ahead of time. Thank you.
Thank you. We have further requests for the floor. So now I would like to give the floor to the distinguished representative of Djibouti, to be followed by the Syrian Arab Republic and El Salvador. So Djibouti, you have the floor.
Oui, merci, madame.
Yes, thank you, ma'am, for giving us the floor. We would like to thank the permanent representative of Qatar, who on behalf of the country offered every effort to ensure the success of this event. I wanted to come back to the question of coordination. As was raised here, some invitations were sent directly to countries, to the capitals or to missions. So how are the two tracks coordinated? We have colleagues in Doha who are working on this. So there's a focal point in the Qatar mission here and in UN DESA. Thank you.
I thank the representative of Djibouti, and now I would like to give the floor to the distinguished representative of the Syrian Arab Republic.
Thank you, Madam. First of all, thank you, Your Excellency, and the briefers, the presenters, for their valuable insights and presentation. I just want to kindly request to share with us the presentations after this session. Thank you, ma'am.
I thank the representative of the Syrian Arab Republic, and now I give the floor to the distinguished representative of El Salvador.
Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the permanent representative of Qatar and to your team for all of the information that you've provided to us this morning. We're very grateful for that. I had a question on the exhibition spaces, whether you already have a procedure in place or any type of guide that would help us to share that with our capital in case there's any interest in setting up a stand or any type of promotional materials, if there's any best practices for that. Our capital's interested, so I'm wondering if there's any guide already about these spaces, these exhibition spaces. Next, I wanted to ask about the side events. I'm wondering whether there's any designated time for these? Are they going to take place during the conference, or rather, are they also going to happen before the summit? My next question is on the deadline to confirm the required focal point for logistical matters for the preparations for the summit. And then my last question is whether there are plans to provide any other type of support to delegations from developing countries that are not LDCs, in addition to what you mentioned in the presentation. Thank you very much once again.
I thank the representative of El Salvador, and now I give the floor to the distinguished representative of Switzerland.
Thank you, Madam, and thank you, Your Excellencies of Qatar, for this very informative briefing. I have two questions. Firstly, is there a maximum number of members per national delegation? And secondly, are social partners and members of civil society who are part of an official state delegation automatically accredited to participate in the summit? Thank you.
Thank you. I now would like to give the floor to the distinguished representative of Tunisia.
Please allow me to extend my thanks to the State of Qatar for organizing this summit. We are pleased to participate in this summit. Tunisia, as usual, will be a partner. We will partner up with our colleagues in Qatar. We wish the Qatari colleagues every success. Tunisia will host the regional meeting in order to prepare a joint Arab position. We will work on a joint Arab statement. We are pleased to host this meeting. So I would like to thank Qatar and to encourage it. We wish Qatar every success. I align myself with the statement of the Syrian Arab Republic. It would be great if we could have access to the presentation to share details with our countries. Thank you.
I thank the representative of Tunisia. I have two more requests for the floor, but I think it would be best now if we first give the representatives of Qatar could respond to some of the questions raised. So now I would like to give the floor to the ambassador to respond to the first question concerning the invitation.
Thank you so much. On the invitations, as we explained earlier, so the invitations extended by the Secretary General to all member states were sent off on March 17th, as has been indicated by the Secretariat. The second set of invitations that were extended by His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the Emir of the State of Qatar, were sent off on April 30th through capitals and through embassies, and as well through the mission. What we will do immediately after this briefing is send again the second send of invitations that were sent from the State of Qatar to the summit through the missions for your reference point, and as well to share it again with your capitals. So we will do that immediately. Let me answer probably some of the rest of the questions. On the slides, of course, we will share the slides after this. The slides actually offer a lot of the information that you have also asked about, but I'm sure once you look at it, you will see that it actually answers a lot of the questions. In relation to the side events, I'm sure DESA, of course, will also handle this part in relation to the registration, the timelines and deadlines. But of course, in terms of when these side events should be held, they should be held during the days of the conference. So this is the agreement as well. We have reached that the side events should take place during the days of the conference. There are other technical questions which I think our team has answered already on the maximum number of delegation per delegation, and as well whether the civil society representatives who are part of official delegations are registered automatically. I think also our team answered it, but I refer these questions to my colleague, Ms. Maha, to answer them. Please, Maha.
So there was a question about the deadlines for the focal points. I think for now we are setting a deadline 2 weeks ahead of the summit, but we encourage you to submit the focal point as soon as possible. So to help us arrange, you know, it's a huge summit as we keep mentioning, and we're anticipating a huge number of heads of states and heads of government. So we encourage you to submit the focal points as soon as possible, as soon as you have the delegation ready. There were questions about the maximum number for the higher entry permit from our side. The number is open for the delegations, but I think the questions goes back to DESA on how many they will accept from the UN registration. And then there was a question about the spaces, the exhibition booths. I think these technical questions we're still discussing with DESA what basically to provide and what are the spaces that will be offered. There will be a registration that you can register, and we will provide more information as soon as the registration is open on the website. Thank you. For the civil society, if it's also within the delegation, we can submit them through the focal point from our side, but I think we also can pass the question to DESA if they can be registered through their protocol, because I know they have different registrations for the civil society.
Thank you. Now I give the floor to Charles to see if he wanted to respond to some of the questions, and then I have 4 more requests for the floor.
Thank you very much. With regard to the questions on the side events, I think our colleagues from the Qatari side have already clarified and elaborated a bit more on the response, on the guidance that we had shared earlier. There will be, this will be made available on the summit website in July, later this month or early in July. I will revert to you with regard to the clarification on the dual registration of members of civil society who will either be part of the official delegation if they need to also register as civil society participants, stakeholders. We will seek clarification and revert on that particular detail. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you. And now I would like to give the floor to the distinguished representative of Chile, to be followed by the Republic of Korea and Canada. Chile, you have the floor.
Microphone for Chile, please.
It's on. No. No. It's not.
Maybe turn it on and off again.
I think the microphone of the representative of Chile is not working because the red light is on, but maybe if you could use of the...
First of all, I'd like to thank the permanent representative of Qatar and the organisation team for the timely information. Now, my question is on the side events, whether these side events will incur any cost for delegations in terms of renting rooms or providing simultaneous interpretation services. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now I would like to give the floor to the representative of the Republic of Korea.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, and Your Excellency, also the host country, Qatar, for the explanation and the hospitality. Just a quick question on the accommodations. If I remember correctly, during the presentation, you mentioned that the head of state or head of government will be given 6 rooms, or that level of presentation, and therefore ministerial level, it would be 4 rooms, whereas within the briefing kit, it says 5 rooms and 3 rooms, respectively. So I just wanted to ask for a quick clarification on that part. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I would like to give the floor to the distinguished representative of Canada.
Thank you so much. And I would also just like to echo my thanks to Ambassador and all the distinguished representatives from Qatar for all their hard work, as well as to the UN Secretariat from DESA and DG ACM for all their hard work. We know that preparations for an event this large must be really difficult, so really appreciate all the hard work you're all doing. So really thanks for that. I just wanted to clarify the registration of our delegations. I understand via the briefing kit that it will be through the UN as well, and the registration will be on the 15th of October as a deadline. I'm trying to anticipate what my capital will ask, which will likely be what are the consequences if we do not register within that deadline, and if you can give any clarifications for the worst case scenarios. Thank you so much.
Thank you. If the ambassador would, or okay. So I give the floor to Maha.
Thank you. So regarding the first question about the interpretation services and the rooms, if they are going to be charged, for the rooms, we're not going to charge anything, but the interpretation services, if they're available, then there is no cost. But looking at the number of side events, we might charge for the interpretation if they're not within the number that we already have. Regarding the question about the accommodation, and the brief kit, it's mentioned the head of delegation plus 5. So in total, and the presentation, it's 6. So the total of number is 6. If the head of delegation is heads of state, then they get 6 rooms in total, which is head of delegation plus 5 rooms. And the same applies to the ministers, so 1 plus 3, which is in total 4. Thank you. And the last question, I think Charles should answer.
What happens if they miss the deadline for registration for delegations?
Okay, the question from Canada was on miss the deadline. We, of course, don't want you to miss the deadline, but if you miss the deadline, we will still accept it and, register. It happens all the time, but, even for the, the general debate, we get the credentials late, but we will accept them. Thank you. I see there are no further requests for the floor. So I would like to thank, first of all, the ambassador, the permanent representative, for the briefing, and her colleagues as well for the briefing. And I'd like to thank you for actively participating in it. The briefing is finished. Thank you.